Hello, G fans and Godzilla heads, or whatever we call ourselves nowadays, and welcome back to another episode of Drunken Tiers. I'm your host, Christopher, the three-headed monster Rupel. Hey, are you talking about me? Or are you talking about me? No, other two heads, I'm not. I'm talking about Ghidorah. Oh. And if you couldn't tell, I'm pairing a list I'm gonna make a tier list of all the Godzilla movies, because I am a pretty big fan of the Godzilla movies, I'm not gonna lie. They're pretty darn special to me, ever since I was just a wee lad enjoying the Godzilla movies. I don't know, I just had this weird obsession. I think it's because I got that, oh god, I forgot what the brand is. It's like a famous, like, Godzilla toy. Like, I got this at a young age because it was, like, my cousin's. And if you hear ice jiggling, I'm sorry. I'm holding my drink instead of drinking it. So give me 1 second. But one of my older cousins had this toy. I'm going to put a picture of it. And they're like, here, Chris, you can have it. And I was just like, oh, this guy's so cool. And then, like, I just became obsessed with Godzilla. And, you know, any chance I got, if it was ever on TV, I'd watch it, even if it was in Spanish. There were a lot of times when I saw a lot of these movies for the first time in Spanish. Surprisingly enough, they had English subtitles still for some reason, so I was able to watch them that way. And, you know, I really enjoy the Godzilla movies. I was about to say, even to this day, big fan of them. I'm growing more and more anticipation for -1. And I'm just looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I am doing this list before -1 comes out, so I will probably be done editing after I see it, so I will actually put my ranking of that one up there as soon as I'm done, kind of thing. Just put like a little note at the end when I get there, and boom, done. Alrighty, so let's begin with the first one. Godzilla. The classic, the bad boy himself. I mean, this one's pretty obvious where it's going to end up. It's going to end up in S tier. It's the one that started the franchise. It's freaking beautifully shot. I love the characters in this one. Like, this is a phenomenal movie. Even without looking at it as a Godzilla movie, I think this one is a top tier bomb fest. Like, it is. It's gonna be, it's not gonna be my number one. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's gonna move down this S. It's gonna be probably around like right here by the end of the day. But it is still a bomb movie. It's still good. And yeah, just love it. Absolutely love it. And if we're talking about it, I'm kind of sad this one doesn't have the Godzilla King of the Monsters, the American version, because I would put that one down here, probably in C or D, because goddamn do I hate that version. Even though that's the version I grew up with, because I had it on I had that one on VHS, like the newer version. Like, that was when they did the like mid-2000 like reissues. It was like that, Godzilla versus Mothra and Rodan came out. And I think there was like another one that I didn't get, unfortunately. And I love those ones so much. But like, I remember being so unimpressed with the first movie. when it was the freaking Steve Martin version. Oh, it's so bad. Alright, up next, Godzilla Raids Again, the first sequel that introduces us to one of my favorite monsters, Anguirus. I'm not a big fan of this one, though. I think it's definitely a C movie. It's really boring, in all honesty, and really does not have a good pace to it. Anguirus cannot save this one. It has a, like, I'm not gonna lie, it has some of the worst shots in Godzilla. Like, it is not a well done one, if you ask me. But I digress. King Kong vs. Godzilla, number 3, and the first one to give us King Kong's introduction to the giant kaiju world of it all. I really enjoy this one. I think it's pretty darn funny. It's really entertaining. It definitely feels like it was the first of the, okay, these are kids watching these movies, right? Let's make this a little more kiddie. Like, it's almost like that. Like, there's a lot more satire than anything with this one. And I think it's a really good movie, honestly. I'm going to put it right there at A. I think it's an A movie. I think the action is really good. I think there's some really funny moments too when like King Kong tries shoving that tree down Godzilla's throat. Oh my god, that scene makes me cackle with laughter. Godzilla versus The Thing? No, versus Mothra. I think I'm gonna put this in the A category, but above King Kong. Actually, no. I think this is an S1. This one's probably my second, I think is the second best one from this era. The Showa era for Godzilla movies. Like, it is a fantastic little flick. We have the introduction to Mothra for the Godzilla series, and of the twin fairies. Who doesn't love them? Solid flick right here. This one's a top tier right here. Good stuff. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Now this one definitely falls in the A category for me. I think it's better than King Kong vs. Godzilla, let's not lie to ourselves. It's the introduction to one of the best monsters of the series. Like, Ghidorah, one badass motivator right here. And yeah, I was about to say, just a really fun, solid flick and keeps you very well entertained. We also get Rodan for the first time in a Godzilla movie. And you have the little baby Mothra trying to communicate with them. This is definitely going down the path of like, oh yeah, these movies are definitely going for the kiddies now. Which, I mean, we'll get better soon. Monster Zero, aka Invasion of Astral Monster. Talk about a C flick or a B one for me. It's really down the middle. Like, it's really nothing special. It's got some really memorable moments, like Godzilla doing the little dance that I'll post right here. You know, the classic moment. I think it's an entertaining little flick, but I think it's definitely really slowing down at this point for Godzilla movies. Like, I definitely would watch this one before I rewatch Raids again, like, without a doubt. Ebirah, Monster of the Deep. This one's definitely falling in that C category. It's really, like, I think Ebirah is one of the more interesting designed monsters. He's just this giant krill, if I'm not mistaken. I always forget if he's a krill or something else. We get Mothra in there. We get that one bird. I can't remember what that bird is called, but that's in there, isn't it? Or is that Son of Godzilla where the bird's in? No, the bird's in this one. Chris, put the editor's note. Thank you. I don't know. I think the music for this one's really fun. I love the almost James Bond feel of the music and even the James Bond feeling of this movie. I think I would put it above Raids Again. I think there's some more entertaining moments in this one than in Raids Again, but nothing memorable really. That's like one of the problems with this one is like it's nothing memorable. Ooh, Son of Godzilla. I'm gonna piss people off with this one. This is an A flick for me. I love Son of Godzilla. I remember watching those dumb commercials as a kid where it was like, if I can find that commercial, I'm going to put it right here. And if I can't, I'm just going to describe it real quick. If not, I'm going to cut it. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about him. It's so much fun, whether we're talking man to man. You don't need to be bigger than life to be a good dad. You just need to spend time with your kids. It takes a man to be a dad. But this one's really sweet, I think. I love Godzilla's. I like Manila a lot in this one. And I think this is just a really fun little flick. Like, if I can understand why people don't like this one, but at the same time, I'm also a little frustrated when people say they don't like this one. It's a really sweet, simple movie, and it has some really good moments, and that ending is almost heart-rending. Like, this probably has my favorite ending, like, heartfelt ending of any Godzilla movie, because I don't think it gets this, like, tearjerkery until we get to the next era, the Heisei era, with one specific movie. Destroy All Monsters. This, man, do I feel right putting that in the S category? I don't, but I feel, yeah, right here. Destroy All Monsters. I think if it didn't have all the this is the ultimate monster mashup. Well, who am I kidding? This is better than fucking Son of Godzilla. I don't think it's, I think without the giant monster mayhem of this one, no one would remember this movie. I don't remember anything but the monster mash of this one. And just all the monsters getting out in the world and causing destruction. Like, this one's really good. And that final fight scene against King Ghidorah is one of the best fight scenes. Like, it's so redonkulous. It's so great. Like, you have so much going on in this one. But I don't think it's S tier category. I think I can't remember anything about the story, in all honesty. I just remember the fights in this one. It's just really freaking good. Ooh, Godzilla's Revenge, or fucking All Monsters Attack, or whatever you want to call this one. Garbage. Complete, utter garbage. But here's my caveat here, because I do like all these movies in one shape or another. This one is great with a couple brewskis, with your pals, and fucking just busting out making fun of this movie. It is so bad, but it's really fun to make fun of. Like, if it wasn't such a fun, bad movie, I would probably put it way lower. Or put it way higher, you know? It's just a fun one to make fun of. That's all this one is. Like, I don't think there is a worse Godzilla movie, in all honesty. No, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, aka Godzilla versus Hedorah. I think I might make some enemies on this one, but I think this is an S tier movie right here. I think this movie is so... I like experimental movies. Let me just be very clear on this. I love weird experimental movies, and this one definitely takes some chances here and just does so much weird shit all over the place. Like, you get a freaking space lesson, and it's so stupid and it's so horrific, but it's supposed to be for little kids. But it has like no balance of tone in this movie. But goddamn, do I really like this one. It is one of my personal favorites. Like, it's so bad. And Hedorah is just one of my favorite monsters, because it's just so disgusting and brutal. And honestly, Godzilla probably never would have been able to beat him, like, with how they show how fucking powerful Hedorah is. Alright, next up, Godzilla versus Gigan. Ooh, this is the era, pretty much after All Monsters Attack, you either have really good ones or just forgettable. And like Godzilla vs. Gigan, if Gigan's design wasn't so memorable, I feel like people would not care about this movie, because it's really nothing special. Like, I'm putting it in the mid section because I would definitely want to watch it more than these other ones, because I really like Godzilla and Anguirus kind of buddying up and beating up on Gigan and Ghidorah. But in all honesty, it's a very forgettable movie. And I mean, I would definitely want to watch this one before Ebirah or Raids Again or any of the other ones. But I don't think it's anything special. Really don't. Godzilla vs. Megalon. The first time I ever watched this movie was because of, oh my god, Mystery Science Theater 3000. I found the MST3K commentary, the episode, on Google Videos. Ooh, that's a callback right there. And if you remember Google Video, you could download the videos and put them on your iPods and shit. And I did that with so many episodes of MST3K. And that was one of the episodes. And it's one of my personal favorite episodes of the show. But this movie is so bonkers bad. Like, it's in like Raids Again territory. Like, I think if it wasn't so entertaining, it would probably be in the D category. But like, I think it's in that so bad it's good category. And I also think that the one thing it has over Godzilla's Revenge is Megalon is a way better designed creature than, oh my god, is it Gabara? I can't remember what the monster is from the new monster from that one. It's not Kumonga. Kumonga's the spider. I can't remember what the name of that freaking... It's on the screen right now, thank you. But Megalon's a really good design, and he's come back in a bunch of fighting games. And, like, I love his drill fucking design. Drills are fucking cool. Alright, now we're getting to some real shit right here. The last two movies of the Showa era. We got Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I like this one a lot, but I think it's still middle ground territory. It definitely introduces us to one of the coolest monsters with Mechagodzilla. And it also introduces us to King Heisei. Heisei! And, and Heisei and Godzilla just teaming up and beating on Mechagodzilla. Good shit right there. Like, I think it's got some good monster action. I think the space apes thing is a little weird. And it feels really off because it's like, did they choose to do this because of Planet of the Apes or what? I don't even know. Next up, Terror of Mechagodzilla. This one's super forgettable. I like Titanosaurus a lot. He's one of my favorite monsters because he's just kind of ridiculous and has a freaking annoying ass whale, I'm not gonna lie. But this is one of the worst ways to end this part of the franchise, I feel. After this one, there was like a 9-year hiatus to the next Godzilla movie, and you have the next era, obviously. But Terror of Mechagodzilla is so bland and bleh. Like, after Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, you got Terror of Mechagodzilla, and it's just so... It's boring. Like, I would rather watch Braids again over this one. Honestly, you know what? It's in the D category. It's definitely above Revenge, but man, it's bad. Alright, The Return of Godzilla, the first of the Heisei era. Ooh, this is a bad boy right here. This one, top of the game. I think, I will... Nope. Yeah, no, I'm keeping it right there. I think it is a top tier movie in this category. It really, it's like the perfect start of the next era. Like, I feel like each time they start a new era of Godzilla movies, you get some really bomb stuff. And this one, bomb diggity. Like, it is really good. Godzilla 1984 or Return of Godzilla, good stuff. Now we got one of our most interesting ones. I feel like the Heisei era has got some just weird ones in all honesty. Godzilla versus Biollante. I like the idea. Like, it kind of has that same kind of... I have like the same feelings about this one as I do with Hedorah. I don't like it as much as Hedorah. But I can honestly say right about here, right in the middle of A. Like, I think this one's got... I think there's just something going for this movie, and I think they had something better going. Like, they had a better idea for this one. But it's nothing spectacular. I love the design of Biollante. I love the idea behind Biollante. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, I think Biollante might be one of my personal favorites of those weirdo monsters. But it's definitely in the air category. Like, I think it's a good movie, but... I don't know what about it. I don't like it as much as Hedorah. It's one of those weird ones. Ooh, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Top freaking tier right here. I think this is one of the first ones that's better than the original. Like, this one... This is the first one I ever watched of the Heisei era. So it kind of gets some extra points for the nostalgia for me. But I think this one's, like, time travel aspect, and just them being like, oh, we're getting rid of Godzilla before he can, fuck up everything, but then getting replaced by Ghidorah, and it's causing way more problems, and then them being like, oh shit, there's a new Godzilla, and being like, alright, we solved the problem, but now we have 2 fucking raging-ass monsters. Good stuff. I love this one. Good stuff. Beautiful. Beautiful movie. Godzilla vs. Mothra from 1992. God, I don't remember this one in all honesty. I remember bits and... I remember the new design of Mothra being really fluffy. And then the ending where Mothra goes into space and she starts her own series. The modern Mothra remakes. But man, I think I have to put it technically in the C area. Because I remember liking it, but I don't remember anything else about it. Like, it's one of those ones that I just don't remember. Like, I can't think of what happens in this one. Like, I don't. Oh, poor thing. Unlike the next one, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. This one, pretty bomb. Ooh, I think... yeah, this one's an S tier one. I think this is a great freaking movie. Introduces us to the Godzilla, Mechagodzilla 2 in this one, and being a really good, like, a good way to fight Godzilla for the humans. And I love the redesign of Mechagodzilla in this one. I think the redesign is freaking bomb. And if it didn't have that, I'd probably... No, I think this one's just in general good. I think this is just in general a really good movie. Godzilla and there's also the introduction to the baby Godzilla in this one, yeah. And they find out he's got a brain in his ass, too. Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I don't think I'm going to make a lot of friends with this one, but I absolutely love this movie. Like, I know it's boring at some points, but I really love Space Godzilla. He's one of my favorite dumb characters, and I love that there's so many explanations of why Space Godzilla exists, and I just love them. I like all the explanations. Like, they did not need to make more than one. We're good, but we're like, nah, Bylante spores or Mothra fucking spreading shit. Who fucking cares? Then it really brings in the space aspect of the Godzilla movies, which this era really decided to kind of neglect. Like, they decided to be like, nah, let's not do any more weird sci-fi shit like in the previous ones. Which, a little disappointed me, but it's still pretty darn good. Sorry, just had to finish my drink there. Woo! Alrighty. Godzilla versus Destroyer! To quote James Rolfe. This is a solid ending to the Heisei era. I think the music and the monsters in this one are some of the best. Nah, this one's definitely right here. I really like this one. I think it's one of the best. Like, without a doubt, it's the music for this one that always gets me. The Godzilla's death theme is one of my absolute favorite songs from any of these movies. Like, I will literally needle drop this one because it is one of my favorites, and it's so just great to hear. If it's not playing underneath this right now, I have failed as an editor and video producer. Did you fail, Chris?
Yeah, just a little.
Okay, it's okay, buddy. Oh boy, the American remake of Godzilla. The first American remake, I guess. It's like right here. I love this movie as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what's funny? How I said I love a good soundtrack. This one's got a bomb ass soundtrack. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so dumb, but I love it to death. It's so bad but good. Unlike the movie, which is just plain bad. I remember loving this one as a kid. I think it's because it was my first time being able to watch own a VHS tape of Godzilla and be able to watch it at home and have a great time. But goddamn, is this one boring as all hell. The characters are terrible. The only thing that's really good about this one, besides its soundtrack, is it gave us a really good TV series. The animated series that came afterwards was so good. Like, strong recommendation. I love that series. But Japan couldn't be quiet for too long, and they gave us Godzilla 2000. Sorry, I just always remember the trailer for this one as a kid, because I think we saw the Godzilla in 1998 in the second house theater. And so as someone who has worked at a second house theater, or just second run theater, you're able to put whatever trailers you want on those. And they put the Godzilla 2000 trailer in front of that, and I remember being so hyped by that trailer because they played Super Beast by Rob Zombie. Chris, drop the trailer real quick. Just drop that beginning of that trailer. It's so good. It made me, like, literally go, ah! Godzilla!
From TriStar Pictures and Toho Company Limited. Catch the ultimate showdown.
It's an alien!
And that's probably why I really liked Godzilla 1998 as a kid, because I was so hyped from this one. Even though this one is super down the middle. This is, I hate to say it, the Millennium era is gonna be really down the middle or below. Like, not my favorite series of movies. Like, Godzilla 2000, while really fun and entertaining, I don't think it's that great of a movie. And to continue forward, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus kind of falls in that same category. Like, I actually think I like it a little more than Godzilla 2000. Like, I like that Godzilla... Oh, wait. Oh, Ogra's in this one. I was like, Godzilla didn't fight anything. It's like, no, he fought Ogra, which is, like, the most forgettable monster, which is so disappointing. Like, they had this first original... Like, this is, like, the first new monster since, you know, Desatsuya. And, like, you give us this weird... fucking thing. Like, I don't know how to describe Ogra. Ogra is so lame if you ask me. But give me Megaguirus any day. I like Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. Like, I don't think it's a good movie. It's kind of like in that same category of 2000 where it's like, it's really down the middle. And yeah, I like Megaguirus. I'm a weirdo. Okay, here we go. We said that there wouldn't be anything good in this era. That's a fucking lie. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monster all-out attack. Ooh, like, it's definitely at the lower end of an A, but goddamn, is this one a fun freaking flick. Like, bringing Ghidorah and Mothra in, like them finally bringing in some more familiar faces for us to finally see. Good choice. It was a good choice. Alrighty, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, aka Kilu-chan. Ooh, I rather like this. Yet again, another one where I would say it's definitely in the A category. I love Kiru. It's one of my favorite version. This is probably my favorite version of Mechagodzilla, especially since it's just so batshit crazy on this one. Like, good times. And, like, I like that there's kind of like I like that this one and the next one are kind of follow-ups to one another with Tokyo SOS. But Tokyo SOS, definitely falling in that. You know what? Yeah, C category. Like, this was I think this was the first Millennium one I actually watched, because I didn't see 2000 until way later. And for some reason, my parents found a copy of Tokyo SOS, and they're just like, here you go, kid. This movie made no fucking sense to me, because, like, I hadn't seen Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Or Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Yeah, against Mechagodzilla, my bad. And, like, this movie was so weird and kind of confusing, because I'm just like, why is Mechagodzilla doing these things? What's going on? Upon, like, rewatching, I do like this one, but man... not a great movie. Unlike the next movie, Final fucking Wars. Yeah, bottom of the S tier. This is definitely the best of the Millennium series. Like, let's not lie to ourselves here. This is a bomb ass movie. People are shit talking this one because they're just like, too much action. I don't know what you all are thinking, but this is a good fucking movie. This one's so much fun. Like, he fucking blasts the shit out of Zilla. Like, who doesn't love that? Like, there's some good shit. There's good human action, good monster action. Action. Yeah. Alrighty, time to move forward with some more American releases. We got Godzilla. I hate this movie. Okay, no, that's not true. I really was enjoying this movie until Bryan Cranston died. I feel like this is not gonna blow anyone's minds. Oh, you stopped liking it after the best character in the movie died and Godzilla it didn't really get good until like close to the end when Godzilla was fighting the, was it Mutos? That's what they were called. And like when he fucking laser blasted down their fucking throat. Yeah, this one, I think it doesn't deserve to be in the D category with these guys. I don't think it does. I think it's a more entertaining movie than these guys. It's definitely more well constructed. Like it's just got it's a sandwich with really good bread but terrible insides. Like you've got some dry ass turkey with some nasty ass like green ass tomato when it's supposed to be red. Fucking dry ass pickles and like fucking iceberg lettuce. Like it's just a boring middle, but some like bomb ass bread. Like beginning and good, middle blah. There we go. Shin Godzilla. I don't think I'm gonna piss anyone off when I say this. Ooh, is this my favorite one? Yeah, this is definitely the best. This is definitely the best Godzilla movie to come out in years. It is so freaking great. I remember I was working at the movie theater at the time, and I got to test run this movie. So I was just in this theater by myself, and I just remember yelling at the screen so many times, like, what the fuck is going on? What is this? Holy shit! Like, when I am screaming at a screen and having a good time, I'm having a good time. Shin Godzilla, freaking bomb-ass movie. I'm really hoping -1 can take its place of being the best one, but who knows? Who knows where it'll end up? Dang, I was wrong. I thought this one would be a little further down here. I'll just move it now. I'm just kidding. No, this was still top tier. Alright, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Definitely an A movie. I actually really like this one. Like, I don't think, I don't know. I think this is probably the best of the American movies. We've got some good action. We've got some good human characters here. Just all around really fun flick. Don't really have much else to say about it. Kind of like the next one, Godzilla vs. Kong. I think this one's a really fun one as well, but I think it's going to be kind of in that center area, though. I think it's definitely got some meh moments in there, but it's definitely a really fun and entertaining flick. And right here, I'm just going to leave a little moment of silence to put what my thoughts are for Godzilla -1 are. So, Chris, take it away from me. Alright, so hopefully this list didn't disappoint. If you have your disagreements, leave those comments down below. Don't give me a thumbs down if you disagree and are just pissed off at me. Leave a comment down below. I'd rather hear why you're pissed more than anything. Or maybe you agree with this list. I don't know. Maybe you're down with this one and you're just like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Godzilla's Revenge is the absolute greatest movie and you need to put that way higher. I don't know. Tell me down below. I'm actually curious what other people's lists are, in all honesty. Like, honestly, what's your favorite Godzilla movie? Like, I'm not gonna lie here when I say that I think Hedorah might be one of my absolute favorite ones, but I don't think it's honestly better than these ones. Like, let's not lie to ourselves. Chris is a weirdo, and I'm Chris. Alrighty, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this list. I hope you enjoyed Godzilla -1. I hope I enjoyed it. I mean, we'll find out soon enough with my recording where I put down what I think, but we'll see. We will see. Chris, I'm just gonna assume it lands right here somewhere. I'm thinking it's gonna land somewhere in this area. Just where? I don't know. But I'm going to leave it down. No. Just going to leave it up there. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for watching or listening or whatever you're doing. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And, of course, I have my Patreon at patreon.com/drunkenbookclub. $1 a month gets you all the content and helps us produce better content. Is this shit do you think this is shit content? Pitch in $1 and we'll improve. Alright, guys. We'll see you next time for something different. Hopefully not another tier list. I want to do something different. I almost wanted to do a Let's Play for Godzilla for -1, but I just didn't have the time for it. So hopefully I have more time later on. Alright, guys. Bye-bye.